Well, historically and traditionally, people applying for jobs, looking for jobs, went one place, the Sunday Gleaner.
Yes.
I mean, nowhere else. So even other newspapers that have attempted to get into the market were not really able to dislodge that, because the Gleaner, the Sunday Gleaner, is historically seen as the paper of record, the place that you find jobs. Now there are some other types of jobs who can be found in the Star and so on. But what has happened over the last couple of years is that with the fragmentization of media and the ability to actually more closely target the demographics or the psychographics of what you are looking for, then persons are now reaching out to other entities. Now, we only have 24 hours in the day. We only have 2 eyes. So that the amount of time you have to spend using those 2 eyes to look at or for things is fairly consistent. So that if in the past persons would have spent, say, X amount of time looking in the Gleaner, that time is now being divided among looking other places. Now, there are 2 other kinds of places. One, they're relatively passive, such as websites that you can go on, and many of those websites may be targeted for different types of audiences. So if you know you want young people, you want persons within a particular age, you're looking for people with certain lifestyle issues, you try to put the ad where those persons are likely to see it. And the good thing about digital media and online media, they can give you information specifically as to know who are the persons who visit their site and how many people actually click on an ad or download it or so on. Another dimension exists. There are persons who can put the ad directly into that email box or someplace where that person will get it themselves as part of a blog that they read or as part of a magazine or a subscription or something that they access. So you're putting the ad directly in front of them without them having to go somewhere and look for it. So that really accounts for the diversity that one is now seeing. We still have some old media people or entities that are committed to, because they have it in there, it must be published in so and so. I had an interesting discussion this morning with somebody from a major government entity that they have to put something in the procurement section, which is found in the Gleaner on Saturday. You know, and I know, the Gleaner is the lowest circulation. So yes, they meet the letter of the law by putting it in the Saturday. So when they actually sent me an email, to make a generic email, so with no disclosures, telling me that they have something and where it should be found. No, but they couldn't send it to me because they have. But even though the very same people you send all the email to, you couldn't send the ad to them because the rule says you're supposed to put it in the Gleaner on a Saturday in that section. So I said, but they admit that system. You know who the people who are likely to respond to this thing, but then you can't send it to them. So I'm saying that that's the kind of transformation that is taking place. That I now had to go to the I went to the Gleaner, I couldn't find it. They told me it should also be in the Observer on a Tuesday. There's a procurement section. I found it. Then I had to now scan it to send it to the rest of my team members, indicating, yes, is this something we are interested in? So that's the range of what is happening. The reverse is also taking place now, where persons can put their skills and interests and so on sites, so that persons can actually try to match them with whatever else, put their resumes on site, so persons can possibility of sorting through, looking at the skill sets, to see if it matches what they are looking for. So that really summarizes what is now happening in the job search universe.
Two follow-ups to that, Dr. Semaj. The first one, how has this digital job search space affected HR consultancies such as yours?
A number of ways. In the early days, because I've had a website since 1993, so I was at the forefront of this. My website was before Jamaica could actually have legal websites. My website was www.toj/tilde.jobbank. So you had to go in for a back end of the TOJ telephone company's website. Initially, HR managers thought I was competing with them, so they would try to ignore me. Until it dawned on them that their job is to hire one accountant, not to go through 500 applications. So if somebody could actually do that process and then hand you a short list based on what you are looking for, the cost of your hiring was significantly reduced. So that's how HR managers now, literally now, can significantly benefit. Now, if they don't use persons like myself, they still have significant amount of work to do, because you're going to get a lot of responses via the digital medium, and the majority of them, pardon the expression, will be garbage. Because it is so easy to apply that even with my website and my options, there are people who apply for everything. Mm-hmm. Because all you have to do is click. Position open for brain surgeon. Click, apply. Willing to learn. Right? So you have a lot of replication, a lot of garbage, a lot of persons who don't even come close. So we are fine-tuning our processes now that the back end of our website can take care of some of those kinds of things. But HR managers still have a lot of work to do, because just the sheer amount of data to sort through. That means that there's still a significant role for persons like myself, because a lot of companies have entered the online job search market, but very, very few of them are have any HR-related skills. Mm. They're just IT people. Huh?
Yes.
Because I've reviewed a lot of master's projects and business studies projects dealing with online applications and so on. So yes, they can do the algorithms in terms of the matching and the sorting and so on, but the issues related to human resource management, human resource development, skill and competence tracking and so on, that is to a large extent missing from a lot of the sites. It's just getting data up there, so someone has to download that data and then sort through it. At the end of the day, you still have to do your shortlisting and interviewing to see if you have a match in terms of what your needs are in the organization.
My final question now is two-pronged. What, if any, correlation can be made between, in particular, the youth unemployment rate and the easy access with which young people can now access these jobs? Because the biggest complaints among university graduates is that they can't find jobs, but no, they don't have that excuse because they can go online and have easy access. Is that affecting the unemployment rate among young people?
Very good question. The problem is that the information that these young people are utilizing towards their job search is way behind the reality of today's marketplace. The person who is the main person advising them, guidance counselor in the school,
yes,
I would ask, how many persons has that guidance counselor ever hired? The average guidance counselor knows nothing about the world of work today. So that, and many times, even these children, their parents can't advise them, because the last 20 years has seen the most dramatic shift in what the world of work now requires.
Yes.
So that puts a lot of the students at a disadvantage. I can count on one hand in my 30-odd years of experience how many good resumes I've ever seen. Because the bulk of the resume, the people advising young people about resumes have no idea what they're talking about. On top of that, those who go on some American sites and use some Americanism towards doing their resumes are out of touch with the Jamaican reality. So that puts them in some serious quandary. So many students have no idea how to do a proper cover letter, how to do a proper resume, even what to do in terms of certain tasks, how you sell yourself, how you package yourself, how you decode what the person is asking for in the ad, and how technically how you can offer them something better than that you're asking for, something different than what they're asking for, and still make yourself, visible. So it is largely on the part of the students themselves, the young people, who many of them have just not developed the capability. What is required is as if they are now hunting in a new environment that requires, laser weapons and, thermal energy trackers and so on, but they're still using bow and arrows. And that's why many of them are still dependent on this thing called contacts. Who knows somebody who knows somebody.
Yes.
And not understanding now. In fact, that's what we call our job search thing, contacts. Just to play on the word, K-O-N-T-O-K-X, because why contacts get your work, But to knowing how do you put yourself in that kind of context so that you are networking, so that you are able to make the right connections. So that's the biggest mismatch that we are now seeing. A lot of students, again, back to the school system, the skill sets that they're getting, yes, they have grades and they have subjects, but what skills do they have? Nobody's telling them education serves one purpose, to make you trainable. But it's training that makes you employable. Mm-hmm. So you have 8 subjects, but what can you do? What skills do you have? What have you used those subjects to do? Have you demonstrated the use of them in your extracurricular activity? What's your profile looking like? What can you show me online that you have created? So that these are the kinds of things that where a lot of work is needed. And I'm actually working on a model like that, a digital model, which I'm calling Career Guru, to help young people to go online and to work through that process. By the way, what is your dharma? What is the set of skills and competencies that you bring to the world, and what problems can you solve with it? So we're still having that major mismatch taking place. So children know how to get subjects, but not how to apply them to jobs. They don't understand that once you decide that you want to be a biologist, whatever that is, it is your responsibility to figure out who will hire you. What will they pay you? How many are those skills? So the students now leave schools with their 9 subjects, go and pay for their expensive degree, then pay for their expensive masters, but nowhere along the line did they do any market research to find out what is the need for that expensive education that you're going to pay for, and have no idea how you're going to apply it and what's the demand for it. So a lot of work is still needed. And that's our area that I think to bridge that gap between that large group of bright young people and the needs of the workplace and the needs of the economy, that gap is not being bridged.
Does internet penetration affect the success rate of young people scoring jobs with these sites?
Sure, but guess what? There's no shortage of internet penetration. Again, since I've been in this thing over 20 years online, I used to track. You would see when I placed my ad in the Gleaner on Sunday. Mm-hmm. I also place it on my website. Do you know when I had the biggest traffic on my website? Monday. Because people would see the job in the newspaper on the Sunday.
Go search for it on the site.
Then they go to the website now, just because we can carry a lot more detail on the website than we'd have to pay for in the Sunday Gleaner. And you'd see a massive jump Monday, because that was 20 years ago, when the majority of people only had access to internet at work.
Yes.
So they went to work. That's when they went online. Now, we're not doing badly at all in Jamaica, especially in the high-density areas where people have access to broadband and access to internet.
But this is my challenge now, in terms of those in the rural parts of Jamaica. Wouldn't they be at a disadvantage?
Well, somewhat. But again, listen, let's account for the majority. The majority are okay. But those same rural people, again, if you want to, they go to the city. So that when I do an analysis of national trends in Jamaica, I don't go to every nook and cranny.
That's true.
If you cover Kingston, Portmore, Spanish Town, Maypen, you with me?
Yes.
Mandeville, Sav, Montego Bay, then jump all the way to Ocherias, then jump all the way to Port Maria, then jump to Port Antonio, then Morant Bay, you more than covered all of Jamaica. Because take any one of those satellite points, say for example, Port Antonio. People are up in the Buff Bay Valley. Yeah, people are, they go into Port Antonio for services, maybe once every 2 weeks. So that I don't worry about whoever on me seek fire.
Yes.
So that they know where they need to go. There was a time in Jamaica when there was hardly any internet access, even in Port Antonio. If you went into the phone company to get internet access, they could not test the phone for you because there was no internet access where the phone company office was located. You had to go to Manchaniel, and there's a particular rock you could stand on and lean toward the sea, and you could get cell phone.
Wow.
All right? So we're gone past that now. And so we have a lot more internet penetration now, and getting much better. Because many of the companies are now selling broadband, weekly rates and daily rates. So you're searching for a job. So you put some data on your phone.
Yes, definitely. Final question. Can these online job sites make a credible claim that they contribute to a reduction in unemployment?
It will be hard for them because many of them are really just linking. Jobs are posted, then persons download. So there's not much real data that says yes, a job was posted.
Yeah.
Yes, such a company download and so many hits. But at the end of the day, what really matters now, how many interviews materialize, and how many hiring actually took place.
Yes.
So that's much harder. That's where persons like myself, who are genuinely HR people, so we actually track the entire process. So when somebody advertises through us, we can track the process directly because we do not have anybody can just post anything on our site. We have to give them permission because we are the brand name. We can't allow ourselves to be implicated. Say, for example, the Gleaner will take an ad for almost anything. Before something is on our site, we have to vet it first and approve it. So because it is our name being associated, well, Dr. Semaj, it's a job bank website, I got that job. It turns is some scam. There are many things we turned down. We said, no, go to Gleaner with that. We don't want to be implicated in those kind of things. So yes, it's very hard for them to make claims because they don't really track outcome. They just look at hits because many times hits do not necessarily translate to revenue.
All right, Dr. Semaj, I really appreciate you speaking with me.